allowed me to be able to really excel and beat the goals that were put in front of me, and in fact help launch a rewarding part of my career. I'm Rick Smith. I'm the VP of Development and Account Management for Vicinity Energy. We're the largest owner-operator of district energy systems in North America. And in that role, I oversee development as well as helping our existing customers throughout the cities of Boston, Philadelphia, and Baltimore. When I first met Ramon 6-7 years ago now, and what was unique about that time period then is that I was going through a process where I was coming into a new role and I was learning a lot about myself and learning about how to handle a lot of different things. So learning how to juggle just a myriad of different responsibilities and some pretty big ones, right? And one of the things that I was struggling with was how to have enough energy in order to be able to do all of those things well. And I don't mean energy as in drink more coffee and spend more time on the treadmill kind of energy. When I say energy, I mean, how could I not allow myself mentally to be trapped by one topic or another so much when I was having to jump around between so many different responsibilities and be able to do all of them well? How could I have enough energy to where I could be equally as good in one part of my role versus another? And that's what Ramon was able to help me to do. When I started working with Ramon and his team, I felt maybe a little bit scatterbrained. I had a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things on my plate. I was trying to figure out how to balance them all. And with that also came trying to work within my own thoughts, right? Because oftentimes when you're trying to juggle so many different responsibilities, you're often working with a lot of different personalities, including your own personality and your own quirks and everything. And also, I found myself trying to adjust to the fact of that what got me to the place that I was in my career now wasn't going to be the same things that were going to be necessary in order for me to excel and do better in a new role. So I was going to have to learn new skills and techniques. And ultimately, it came down to working on myself and how I thought, how I perceived things, and how I worked through some of those mental challenges. And that ultimately helped me be able to get the amount of energy that I needed in order to be able to do extremely well in my role. So working with Ramon and team is absolutely great. I always knew that I was in a quote unquote safe space. I could talk openly and honestly about how things were going, what I was struggling with, where some of my challenges were. And instead of coming back to me and saying, hey, do X, Y, and Z, and call me in the morning and let me know how it went, instead presented me with different thoughts of ways to address not only situations, but ways to address how I perceived different situations and my own perceptions. That gave me the ability to be able to get away from some of my fears, some of my anxieties, some of my own insecurities, which opened up a lot of energy, which is what ultimately I was looking for. By doing all of that, I was able to realize a lot of success in making a transition from somebody who had the potential, the talent, and the possibilities there in front of me to somebody that was able to now be able to utilize them with confidence and not allow some of the challenges from the past and things that, again, had helped me maybe in the past, but weren't going to be the skills that I needed in order to be able to march forward in the future. What Ramon and the team and I really spent a lot of time was remaining in the present and not being focused so far into the future, and certainly not being in a point where you're dwelling in the past. And by staying focused on the present, by staying focused on ensuring that I was using a process to approach problems and challenges and, of course, opportunities in a way that wasn't based in anxieties of the future or the past, it allowed me to be able to really excel and beat the goals that were put in front of me, and in fact help launch a rewarding part of my career. When I started working with Ramon, I got to admit it was a little bit different versus what I thought it might be, because I had worked with coaches before, and most coaches, there's a lot of great coaches out there, but a lot of them are the same in that they have booklets and handbooks and worksheets and all kinds of other things that where they have a process that they go through and very, very much focused on, you know, ways to attack different challenges and whatnot. But what Ramon and his team really helped me focus on was me, and was on my own thoughts, on my own processes. It was helping me focus on the one thing that I could change, and realizing that, you know, in this world, we're surrounded by so many things that we can't change. We can certainly try, and we do all the time. And while we can influence them, oftentimes we can't change them. But the one thing that we can change, and the one thing that we can very strongly influence always, is ourselves and how we perceive the environment around us, and ultimately the energy and the approach that we bring to the world around us, including our careers. And that's what I enjoyed about this process, is that it was not one that was based on following some worksheet or whatnot, but it was based around really a thought process and thinking on a much deeper level about how I approached challenges and opportunities myself, versus focusing on how everybody else around me was focused on them. I began working with Ramon and his team. I originally thought, where's the structure? Where is all of the spreadsheets? Where's the checklists, and where's the workbooks, and where is all of this? Because that's what I had been conditioned to. It's what I had been come to expect out of coaching. And I didn't fully appreciate the benefit of their approach until time went on, as I was working with them, as I was starting to see how my relationships with others, my relationship to my work, and my relationship to definitions of success and failure began to change while I worked with them. And it was as I saw the results of taking on a changed perception that I really realized the success of the program. Absolutely recommend people go on this journey with Ramon and New Mavericks. But I would caution this. I would say that if anybody who were to work with New Mavericks wasn't really ready to truly understand themselves and to think at a much deeper level about the things that will allow them to be successful, not just in their professional lives, but in their personal lives, and aren't really truly able to make the time to really think about that and really dive into that, then this wouldn't be the program for you. But if you are willing to go much, much deeper, and as a result of which be able to realize much, much better results, then this program would certainly be something that would be worth doing. Ramon's a great guy, and I appreciate having been able to work with him, and I know we'll be working together much more in the future.